All right, y'all. It's the time of the day that you've been waiting for. It is the one show on air that will take you from the boardroom to the bedroom, from politics to the pulpit, and everything in between with your favorite friends. You are about to join the crew for Fresh Fire as we do what we do all together. Tune in.
Welcome, everybody, to the crew here on WHOV 88.1 FM.
He's laughing right now, but I'm going to leave that alone.
And on social media, the crew content is always there on all of our platforms. It's just us again today. The ladies are out taking care of their business, so this is Barbershop Talk. But listen, I need y'all to go to the bonus content today.
That's why he's laughing. That's why he's laughing.
Because there's some things that you really need to understand about this show. And in particular, the beloved Commonwealth Attorney for the City of Hampton.
Why it always got to be about me?
It's always, the special one, of which is the one that people look to and look forward to hearing from on the show. The one that has the incredible ability to balance law with order and spirituality and the ability to shank people all at the same time.
That wasn't me. That was Ray. If you're listening, by the way, that was Ray. That was not me. They know my voice. That was Ray. See, you know what? So I'm gonna take the mic now. Y'all, they've been clowning me, and I've been trying. I'm in consecration, so I've been trying not to shank anybody. But they've been clowning a brother, and I'm trying to be good. But I'm gonna be good today.
It's in your spirit, man.
It is in my spirit because I keep my shank out.
It's gonna come out.
I keep it out.
Keep it out.
I keep it out.
It's gonna come out. But please, listening audience, watching us, go to the bonus content, and then you will see the truth about this show. And Ray, the Bible says the truth shall make you free.
Shall make you free.
That's New Testament, by the way.
That's what it says.
But the Bible also said, because see, it says before all that, if you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed.
It did say that.
And then he says the truth shall make you free.
Yeah.
I don't hear none of y'all continuing the word. I just hear y'all lying. You ain't saying nothing about the word. I've been saying. But yes, I am quoting New Testament, by the way.
Very proud of you. It's a new year. You must be reading more. I'm proud of you.
Whatever.
But listen, we want to give a shout out to the ladies who are now here with us today, Alvia and Sia, taking care of their business. We got some boss women on this. We do. All jokes aside, they are very successful handling their business. And we want to make sure we give them a shout out and tell them we love them. Can't wait for them to get back. And then our producer extraordinaire, Jason Covington.
Absolutely.
Who, by the way,
in
the bonus content, did share that I was telling the truth. So I just want to put that out there for the show. You need to check that out.
But we moving on.
Lies. Okay. Can I just tell you?
Jason, did I lie in the bonus content?
Lies.
See?
Silence.
The lies you tell. The lies you tell.
All right. But all jokes aside, we're going to go ahead and jump into the show today. And because it's us again, we like to have barbershop talk. And that's, for those who don't know, barbershop is where you go to the shop, you're waiting to get your cut, and it's all types of conversations going on in the barbershop. You can hear a little bit of everything. Some stuff true, some stuff been stretched and fabricated, but here we try to give it to you as truthfully as we can. And the last show that we did, we were talking about black men in leadership. We were talking about manhood and trying to help other black men in particular who are in leadership positions to know how to navigate this space. Because, we're seeing a lot of brothers going down. Yes, they are. And this whole new era that we're in, Me Too movement, and young people in social media that are out to expose authority and are not as trusting of authority as we were in our generation. And how do we navigate these spaces as three successful black men who are in leadership. But Ray, you raised a question, man, right at the end of the show, man.
He dropped the ball.
I mean, like 1 minute left, and we couldn't even get to it. So we got to start with that, man. And so for those who didn't hear the show last time or watch it, What was that question, man, that you raised at the end of the last show?
Yeah, given the times and given the culture and the state of things with black men, and because we have not necessarily done relationships well, are black men believable? And with us being, the answer to that question determines whether or not people will follow us and whether they look at us with a side eye or not. And so are black men believable as a result of the culture that we are in and the state of things?
So to clarify, are we believable as leaders or as black men?
I'm going to say both, as black men and as leaders. Because what you're finding is, like I said the last time we gathered, what's shocking to me is the speed at which people are coming out with all this evidence and stuff against black men. And so it raises a question, I add this: can black men be trusted? I even hate to go there. I shudder to think of the thought, because you got so many black men that have done well and so many different, posts that they've been on with inside society. But, to the average brother at home, that's what we're talking about today. Are we believable? Can we be trusted?
As a group.
As a group.
Because individually, absolutely, I would say yes. Because
not if you ask the sisters.
Well, here's the thing. I ain't asking nobody, because I can look in the mirror and say, yeah, I can be trusted.
Yeah, we ain't talking about you.
Okay.
The question is men.
But
see,
I
as
said,
a group,
but I said,
on a continuum.
but I said individually. I said yes. I said individually, yes.
Black man,
but
as black man, black
correct,
man.
Because you can't put everybody in the same boat.
Well, they show judges that way.
Well, I understand it, but I said, notice, okay, now, don't phonics. Works for me. I'm just see, he made me go there.
Too early in the show. Too early.
He made me go there.
Shanking already.
I'm just saying, I said individually.
I got you.
Yes. As a group, questionable, because when you pose that question, I didn't think about the Me Too moment. I thought about police officers.
My God.
When George got killed, and he was really the, I think, epitome of how people view police officers, because there were already prior issues before him, but his death was so visible because he basically died in front of all of us.
Yeah.
And so, or was murdered, I should say, in front of all of us, because I want to make sure the context is proper. He was murdered. In front of all of us. It forever changed, I think, the view of police officers as a whole. And although I think we're making grounds in shifting the narrative that that's not all police officers. Police officers, law enforcement, we took a major, major blow as a whole that day. And in the eyes of the public, because people said they absolutely cannot trust us. And here's the thing. There were a lot of people who were absolutely saying, no, there's only a few, and there's only a few bad apples or whatever. But we saw it in the numbers nationwide, law enforcement, recruiting going down. We saw a record number of police officers quitting, not simply because of hazardous conditions. They were quitting because they were no longer looked upon as the good guy. They was looked upon as the bad guy. They were looked upon as not being in a respectable profession. And then you have the hazards on top of that and the stress on top of that. You saw a lot of laws that come into place where it was supposed to be for criminal justice, but it went to the extreme in some instances. And as a result of that, it made being a police officer, being a prosecutor, extremely hard, extremely challenging to do your job, because at the end of the day, our job is public safety. Our job is to enhance the lives of others through public safety. So you have that narrative. Black men, I think, for quite some time has been dealing with that as well, because I've seen many, many threads on social media where Black women have talked about their experiences with black men, particularly in college, being raped, and have gone after the fraternities in particular about the rapes, and how they felt that, how is it that you guys are so-called supposed to be our protectors, but in reality, you have many times been our predator. And so at any moment, if you type in black men on some of these social networks or social media outlets, you will catch threads. I mean, it's not hard to find one. They're common now, where not white people, but our own, are exposing some of the predatory behavior of members of our gender and race. And so that has been the problem. So then, and this is black men in general. So then when you talk about leaders who are black men and now they're falling, and some of these leaders are people who you would have never thought would have been accused of some of the things. We know some names have come out recently that even had us in the group chat kind of shaking our heads and saying, do you think that could really be true?
Right.
You know, and we really were like, you know, but, you know, that person's anointed. That person that got oil on them. And some of us said, you can have oil on you and still have issues. And that's true. You can have oil on you and still have sin issues, still have addictions, still have alternate lifestyles, the whole nine. And it threw us. Now, it threw us. So I can only imagine what it did, what it's doing to your average everyday person who may not necessarily be in the spotlight. So, yeah, I think as a group, we got some major challenges perception-wise.
100%. Most of our sisters, man, don't trust us.
There you go.
Let's just put that out there, right?
And why?
Because of previous history, man, and stuff that we've done.
We have prayed. And here's the thing. It's like this. I'm gonna put my pad down for a second, my iPad down for a second, so I can kind of be demonstrative in a sense. It's like this. There has been a playing field. You go to most colleges. And most colleges is 8-1 female to men. Then you take away some of the one in the men because some of them are gay.
Right.
And not interested in women.
Now
you up to somewhere like 14, 15 to 1.
Right.
And if you have not grown up in a home where you've seen the example of a loving couple, and there are times where you've grown up and seen that and you still want to be a dog and not be relational in nature. But if you've grown up in a home and not seen that example, you have, unfortunately, more of a propensity to fall into just going from female to female, and unfortunately not being relational and being trustworthy in those relationships.
And to take it a step further, you don't have to be committed to anything when it's 24-1. And
you know what
this,
it is.
This is the challenge, because for every 10 that may want to uphold a standard for a woman, you got 14 that's willing to go where you want to go.
I would put that number higher. I would put that number higher.
Put that higher.
I would put it higher.
So what incentive is there in some cases for a man to be at a higher place when he can pick the choice of the litter?
There is none.
To stay in the place that he's in, and you got so many women that's willing to accept that.
The only thing, I firmly believe this, having worked with men, worked with boys, given the climate, given the stats and the numbers, the only thing that will keep a man is really not the woman. He must fear God.
He must fear God.
He must fear God.
And the fruit of the Spirit that we don't talk about the most is self-control.
Self-control.
If you don't have self-control,
isn't that the last fruit?
It is.
Yeah.
If we don't
this New Testament,
he coming along. Ain't he?
You got to know the nine. Know the nine though.
I don't care what position you're in.
I'll shank y'all later.
Listen, if you don't have the fruit of the of self-control, you can't survive out here, man.
No, you can't.
Right? Now let me come back to what you said. Something interesting, man, because you said the first thing that you thought of with raised question was the police.
I did.
Right, in the whole George Floyd situation. Well, by the way, first of all, you know the officer that got arrested, he got stabbed. Did you see that?
I saw that.
They tried to kill him in prison.
And why would you be surprised by that?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm just using that as
that remind me of?
What?
That remind me of who was the serial killer that was killing all the black men, gay black men in Minnesota. I'm having Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
He got killed in prison.
Yeah. So, but to me, Tar, the case that you're talking about as it pertains to black men in power is not the Floyd case. It's the case in Memphis. I can't remember the young man's name. Is it Tyree?
What were you talking about with the black
4 officers?
The black officers?
Yes.
4 black officers.
Yes.
You think?
Yes. Why don't we talk about that case more?
Can I tell you why we don't talk about
It's
that case?
4 black men, officers.
It's easy. That's easy.
Why?
We don't talk about that case because it's us.
Exactly.
It's us. We were ready to go off. We were ready as a community. Oh, we had
Until we found out.
Look, forget the tiki torches. We had we had our banners. We had our permits filed.
Yeah.
We were ready to march. We was ready to tear a place up. We had everything that we needed to tear a city up. We were ready until that video came up on CNN.
Yes,
and we
sir.
said, wait, they are black.
So in the last show, you talked about hypocrisy. This, to me, is hypocrisy. Because what we do is choose our reaction to a crime based on color. Where justice should be justice, right? Outrage should be outrage.
We don't care. We don't care. Can I take it deeper? Can I take it deeper? In prosecuting 25 years now, about 25 years. No, actually a little bit more than 25 years. So in all my years of prosecuting, it is a pattern when I see if there's a white person that is being accused of killing or hurting a black person or just a white person as a defendant, we are for real up in arms and we want justice. But if it's a black person that is killing or shooting another black person, we are quiet. And sometimes I hear people say, well, it happens so often, it's almost like I am immune to it or there's no more shock value. But I don't give you that. It's complacency. And it's also that protectiveness of the community. Yeah. We will protect our own even when our own are predators.
And where does that start?
In the home.
In the home.
In the home.
We will do it because we did it with R. Kelly. You still got people right now as we're recording, right now that are still, no, forget playing his music, that are still vocalizing their support of him, even though he's been not just accused, but now has been convicted multiple times, will go to the point of actually will protest to say that he is innocent and will say that they made it up and it's a bad rap and it's the legal system and talk about bad officers, bad FBI agents, all that other stuff, instead of looking at what he did. Matter of fact, there was a video years ago, supposedly, where he peed on one girl, a 12-year-old girl.
Golden showers.
But no one wants to talk about that because we will protect the predator. That's why you got individuals like a Diddy who got away with all this stuff for all these years, allegedly.
So here's my question.
Yes, say it.
If I'm a leader in the black community and we know that no snitching started not in the streets but in the family.
It did. Right?
And I know that as a community we don't like to, there's usually not an aggressive fallout for our behavior. It's only when somebody else does it.
Yeah.
Then what incentive do I have, Ray, to not be shady as a why wouldn't I? Because there's not going to be a fallout. In most cases, it's likely to be kept under the rug. That enables me to have more power, right? And even if you know, in a lot of cases, what do? Nobody says anything.
Before you give your answer, it'll be kept under the rug if you connect it to the right people.
That's it right there. If you connect it to the right people.
Right.
What right people are we talking about?
The people that can, the people that can, and I hate to use this term,
say it,
shade what you have done, cover what you have done, or will protect what you have done and keep what you have done in this quote unquote confidence kind of thing.
And I'm gonna tell you why they'll do it. Because if you go down, I may go down.
Well, y'all talking about
domino effect.
Well,
right.
Y'all talking about outside the family, because I'm thinking inside the family. Everybody know the uncle did it. Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Well, no, I think the same principle applies. Because we like Uncle, I don't want to call nobody name. We like Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe is the one that give us all $25 at Christmas time.
So we're not gonna say nothing about Uncle Joe
We ain't
because he
gonna say
give me
nothing about Uncle
$25, but my child is traumatized.
We ain't gonna say nothing about it because Joe has he got issues, and so baby, maybe you should not have worn that dress to the Christmas gathering, and good and well you shouldn't have went over there standing by Joe like that because you know how Joe is.
So that's
what the family say.
So baby boy is wrestling with sexuality because Uncle Joe exposed the baby boy to stuff that he wasn't supposed to be exposed. But ain't nobody gonna say nothing about that.
Let's keep it real.
Because we make excuses for Uncle Joe.
Let's make it real. Let's make it plain. I got a case. I don't know if that case has been resolved yet. Where this young lady, she allowed her young child to be around, or her children to be around her grandfather or their grandfather. Grandfather raped her when she was a kid, molested her for years as a kid. No. It got swept under the rug by the families, and we among ourselves, the prosecutor, victim services, and everything, we're trying to grapple around, wrap our heads around why would you let your kids be around this guy that molested you as a child yourself. But the reality was, what was taught to her was it was okay because no one did anything. Because they knew no one did anything. They all swept it under the rug. And so for her, it was normal. It never occurred to her, which it should have occurred to the average person, but it never occurred to her that even though he's old, he may still do that to any person, particularly your children. And that's exactly what he did.
And this is a question I'm asking to both of y'all. If we get in leadership and I know that there's no real consequence for my behavior because ain't nobody gonna say nothing, then I'm left to my own vices.
Right. You are.
To not do what is right, or to do what is right, or not do what is right.
Right.
And if I don't have the proper morals, ethics, and values, why wouldn't I do crazy stuff? Because ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
And let's just throw some gasoline on that. And we all know that money, affluence, position status, power only amplifies
who you already are.
Facts. Which is why when you keep coming after the clergy. Clergy ain't got money, but they got power.
They got power.
Right? And that power is attractive to a lot of people.
The anointing attracts.
It attracts, right? So if you don't have self-control and you don't understand your own vices and where you can go wrong, you can get away with stuff. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
Right.
So what incentive do I have, Ray, to want to keep it on the straight and narrow? What incentive do I have?
The only incentive that you have is that you must know that when your time comes, when you get ready to leave this earth, you are going to stand before God. And there must be a value for human life, one, but you must value eternity. And because, I hate to say it like this, but judgment and accountability has not been swift. People take the grace of God and play it cheap. And so they go along with this, well, let's sweep it under the rug. Well, I got issues. I got perfect. I hate to even use this phrase, but it just popped up in my head. Well, I never told y'all I was perfect. But what happens when you have uncorrected behavior over time, this is what ends up creating the climate and the culture for this stuff to fester. And what we're seeing right now is the quick accountability that's coming with social media, the quick accountability that's coming with videos, the quick accountability that's coming with affidavits, the quick accountability from the Me Too movement, all of that converging at the same time so that there can be some change that will happen in people. Because if you're left to your own vices, nobody has, without accountability, a desire to transform themselves. You have to be transformed.
And that's the point.
You have to be
That's
transformed.
the point. So if I'm raised in a house with limited to no accountability,
right,
and then I end up in a leadership position,
my God,
you already said, what power does is just magnify who you are. Money magnifies who you are. So I got all this money, I got all this status, I got all this influence, but I was raised with no accountability. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
In my mind.
You're not.
You're not.
You're not. You're not. And you said it earlier, it's the fear of God.
Yeah, you gotta
if you don't have the fear of God, then you're not. And in the reality of it, let's remove the clergy for a second. And let's just deal with just your average Joe who may not have any relationship with God. I'm afraid.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm afraid.
Take the faith off. And let's be clear here. When we talk about leadership, black men leaders, we're not just talking about Commonwealth attorney, pastors. A father is a leader.
Yes. He is.
Right? And if a father wasn't raised in a place of accountability,
Man,
right, where there's
listen.
consequence and everything's swept under the rug, why wouldn't I go do whatever?
Yeah.
Man. The only thing that will stop that is quick accountability. So if he go do whatever and then immediately he get caught in something,
Caught in what?
a disease comes back to him.
Okay, so if she leave, you telling me it's 24-1.
Because guess what? There's some entertainers that they have rumored to say have those disease like luggage that won't go away.
Right.
And they say they're giving it to people like
And they
Usher's
just passing it around.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Usher's been sued.
Yes, he has.
For giving herpes to somebody.
Yes.
R. Kelly
Yes.
got sued
Yes.
for giving herpes to someone.
So I'm just going to ask, if you a woman and you know all of this ahead of time, and yet you still engage, I'm not blaming the woman, but understand what in the man's mind, there's no consequence for any of this.
So I recently went to allergist because I got allergies, y'all. And so I didn't know I had allergies. I mean, like serious allergies.
Really?
Like severe to dust and severe to cats. I'm allergic to cats. I ain't never like them, but so I've not been around them.
Right.
No hate on cat lovers, but I just never been around them. So but I'm allergic. I mean, like a cat could be in the room and if
You start
they leave,
sneezing.
yeah, they leave, and I may be sneezing and never know why I was sneezing. It was because of the cat.
Right.
Yeah. So allergic to cockroaches.
I ain't mad.
Yeah. Mosquito. Yeah. Weeds. Trees. I'm allergic. And I didn't know. But anyway, I say that because I was in the allergist office and they were giving me the test for which hurts. And they were giving me the test. And the young girls were talking about going to the alley.
Lord, no.
Now, the alley, for those of you that don't know,
Lord, no.
is, in my opinion, it's the worst club that you can go to in
Worse.
Newport News, Hampton area. I have prosecuted murder cases that occurred in the parking lot of the alley because the alley institution is in Newport News, but the parking lot is Hampton.
Right.
And so,
Really?
Yes.
Yes, I hate that. Because guess what? If it was in Hampton, we would shut that boy down in a heartbeat as a nuisance because we've prosecuted too many murders in that parking lot from people who had just left the alley. So anyway, they said they go to the alley. They were like, they have a good time and this, and that, and that, and that. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, I prosecuted murders in that parking lot. But anyway, they were talking about one particular guy that approached one of them in the alley or approached some girl that they was watching in the alley that they knew. And he said, I met all my baby mamas in the alley. I met all of them. Now, he got 4 already.
Lord have mercy.
He got 4 already. And he said, look at his face. That's where y'all got to go.
Y'all got to go. Y'all got to
see the
go.
video. But he has 4 baby mamas already. And he was talking to this girl and telling her he met all his baby mamas at the alley. And she still...
No.
Oh, yes, she did. You know she did.
Why wouldn't she?
She still talked to him.
Why wouldn't she?
She still engaged with him as if he had something to offer her.
Why wouldn't she?
See, but this is my point. My point is, I hate to say it like this, but if the women would raise the standard, that perhaps could have an influence on men making some changes.
But they said that now.
But
they did say
again, if you raise the standard for 10, there's 14 that ain't willing to raise the standard.
You got to value yourself.
Which way you think the man gonna go?
He going to the 14.
It depends on who the man is.
Correct.
Because guess what?
Correct.
Just like you are raising the standard with the women, you got to raise the standard with the
men.
brothers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And so, guess what? I ain't want no hoochie coochie mama.
Come on, talk to me.
I wanted someone who's going to be able to add some value to my life, and we'll be able to do some things together.
Right.
Because you know what? You could be a thought over there.
Hello.
Or you won't.
Stay over there.
Stay over there.
I ain't got no need for none of that.
But you could do that on your own. But I'm like, you and I, we're at some point it's going to be a clash. The most I'm going to get out of that is going to be physical.
And I'm going to ask you this. Out of 10 brothers,
how many think
how
like
many
that?
you think like you?
Yeah, but you know what?
Give me a number.
I'm about to tell you
Put
this.
an age number on it, or just in general?
But hold on, I'm about to give you that. If it's 10 brothers with something.
Yeah. They got
something to lose.
Yeah.
The average one ain't gonna get with that. Now, in this generation now, unfortunately, you got NBA players hooking up with these OnlyFans women, these strippers, having babies with them, having to come out their pocket, like Anthony Edwards now being accused of having getting OnlyFans model
Zion Williams
pregnant. Zion Williams, hold on, was messing with an OnlyFans woman. And she said he was giving her 6-figure money, but got a stripper pregnant at the same time. But hold on, but his back hurt.
He can't play.
His back hurt, y'all. So he couldn't play for a whole year, sat on the bench. But yet you having all this going down.
That's probably why his back hurt.
Yeah, that's why his back hurt.
So what's his consequence?
His consequence is his legacy at the worst of it, because at the end of the day, he's still playing. He's still guaranteed contract. He's still getting paid. Matter of fact, brother, right now that I was going to talk to, let me pull my app.
Let's go there. Let's go.
Well, why you getting that?
Yeah.
Zion just signed a almost a $200 million extension.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't.
Anthony Edwards signed a $200 million deal.
But see, his right now, his off the court issues are not impacting his on the court issues, because his team is number 1 right now in the West. So it hasn't been impacting his play. Zion was impacting the Pelicans, and he
wasn't playing.
He wasn't playing at all. So that was impacting. And then when he came back, he had gained all that weight.
Yeah.
And he was playing horribly.
But go back to my question. 10 brothers. Even if you describe the way you were described, they got something to lose.
I'm gonna lean into the brothers. I'm gonna say I'm gonna believe the brothers want better.
You believe too much.
I'm gonna say 7.
No,
7 out of 10
I don't
brothers.
agree with that.
7 out of 10 brothers want better.
No, I
and
disagree.
you say better is
in terms of their life,
monogamous relationship.
They want monogamous relationships, legacy, family. They want better for themselves.
You living in a utopia. You living in a utopia. I'm shaking
What's
my
your
hands too. I would say maybe 3.
I'm with you.
Lord Jesus. We have stooped that low.
No,
as a collective group of black men.
I believe it's hard for any man, forget power and privilege, when you are approached with the things that you crave, and now all of a sudden I'm supposed to turn it down.
And you don't have,
and there's no consequence for me not turning it down.
And you also don't have a foundation of your faith.
Correct.
Yeah, because we did say take faith off the table.
We said take faith off the table.
Put faith on the table. Brothers in the church struggling with this.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Don't put faith off the table on this. Go through the scriptures. Brothers in the scriptures wrestled with this.
They did, but you can wrestle with it and still come out victorious.
You can.
Yeah. Right. And so that's why I took faith off the table when I gave my number of 3. On the table,
give me 6. Give me at least 6. 6?
I give you 5. I give you 5. I ain't gonna give you more than 5. I'm sorry.
So what we're saying,
you saying you throwing it in my face?
What we're saying is at
best. They throwing it in your face today.
At best,
they throwing it in your face today.
A man in this era, 5 men out of 10 at best.
And you throwing it in his face.
Well, it's available. Let me say.
No, well, there's a difference. Let me say this. There's a difference, because here's the thing. It could be something that is available and you don't pursue it.
Right.
But the young ladies now of this day,
oh yeah,
they are very aggressive.
Very.
And will actually prefer to get in a relationship with a married man.
Yes.
That's a top. That's a
show.
That's a show. Will want to get in a relationship with a married because they don't want a commitment.
Right.
They just want the benefits that come with being in a relationship.
And you
with a married
married,
man.
you look stable, so I ain't got to worry about a whole lot of issues with
More
you.
attractive.
You're going to be in and out, and I want you to be in and out.
More attractive because that's something I know you can commit to a certain degree, of course, but I know you can commit.
That's a financial arrangement, in my opinion.
Might be.
Yeah, it might be.
I don't
Might
see
be.
where a woman would intentionally settle with somebody she knows she can't have unless there's some other incentive to the
Book of
picture.
Isaiah
I
said 8 to
told you
1.
there's an incentive.
What's the incentive?
The incentive is she may not want a commitment,
But she want money.
but yeah,
And I don't want to.
Some
I
want
don't want
money.
to come off as sounding like this is strictly, I don't want this show to be
she a
about that.
prostitute.
Right, right. I'm about to say, so you saying she a
She a
prostitute.
call girl.
But why else would I be giving
She
you
gold
all of
digger.
my life, which you know, and you going home to somebody else, if I'm not getting what am I getting out the deal?
Because I don't know the value of my life.
Okay.
When you don't know the value of your life, you'll settle for the foolishness.
So the crazy girl that put Zion out on the street and was for a whole year after he went off and married the other girl, she was still on social media and got banned, but she got paid, didn't she?
She got paid initially.
Yeah, she got paid.
She got paid initially, but guess what? The reason why she did all that is because she stopped getting paid. That's why she did what she did.
So there's an incentive, right?
There wasn't a oh yeah, it was financial. I mean, you
Okay.
look at Zion Williams, he look like the bottom of my shoe. But but it is what it is. I mean, come on, y'all. For real.
But on the other side, because we're talking about men today, it goes back to if there's no accountability, if I'm raised in an environment where there's no accountability, what incentive do I have to stay monogamous? Because here's
if you're a man of faith or you're a man without faith, where are we?
I think you can put both of them on the table.
Then again, it goes back to the fear of God. Then.
You got, yeah.
I'm sorry, it got to go back to the fear of God. Because here's the thing: what keeps me stable, what for real, what keeps me like not even thinking about that is I fear God more than I fear hurting my wife.
I agree.
Because my wife is for real the real deal woman of God.
No
And
question about it.
I know she has relationship with God. That's his daughter.
Right.
And so you now it's like a brother who is a father and he has daughters. And that son-in-law knows that daughter will put a bullet in his head
Yep.
if you mess his daughter up.
Yeah.
Straight up. My godfather, when my god sister was about to get married to her husband, had them over to the house and he set them at the table and he put a gun down on the table.
That's it.
And he said to him, when you get tired of her, you return her like you are getting her.
Right.
Are
The
we
same,
clear?
the same way you found it.
The same way you found her, you return her.
I agree. And I think all of us here at the table, we benefit from the fact that we have wives that we value,
Yes.
right? Wives that we know are good for us, that are in with us, that understand the positions that we're in, right? Every brother ain't got that.
This,
But
I think
every,
that this.
every brother ain't got that.
So can I ask you a question? Why don't every brother have that if it's 15, 16, 17 to 1?
Because some people get married for the wrong reasons.
Again, let me ask you again. Why don't every brother have that?
They
if
thinking
it's
with the wrong head, Tom?
Yeah, they
thinking with the wrong head.
They thinking with the wrong head. Because, Kev, if we're going to keep it real, since we're talking about it,
Yeah.
if it is 15, 16 to 1, then you have options.
You do.
And let me tell you.
Play with
the-
14, get your one.
Come on.
I didn't say that on the air.
You did, but I'm telling you, you have options. And so if you have options like that, then my question is, why are you marrying
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that you know is not ultimately going to be good and beneficial for you when you have option good women
Yeah.
who will not only hold you. I'm talking about Abigail Kingmakers.
Yeah, nah.
Because most
make me speaking a tongue under here.
Come on,
because
Abigail
in your
Kingmakers.
shot, in your sha-na-na,
Sha-na-na.
you need to understand that most men, typically when they marry, they're marrying because they like whoever the
She is
person
right
is
now.
today.
Yeah.
where she is right now.
They don't think about what she's going to be later.
Yeah.
I think about, so if I'm having a good time today,
talk to him.
then I'm good.
Talk to him.
But we never, in the space of having a good time, we never learn how to communicate. We never learn how to manage money. We never learn how to figure out how to raising kids. Oh, all that came later.
Or who she's going to be in raising the kids.
And this is where the hard work comes in, right? And now you're realizing that relationship and marriage is hard business. But when we first started, you was jumping off the dresser. It was easy, right? So now we in this spot. And when you talk about the numbers, why do I need to put in the work?
I guess I'm confused.
Well, hold on. Wait. Why do I have to? Why do I have to keep putting in work?
And I ain't got to put that kind of work in because
I
there's
can
14
get it
other options
easier.
Well, then here's the thing: then don't get married.
But that's not what most people are thinking in the beginning. Because what I think in the beginning is, this is great. We get along.
But you're talking about people of faith, right? Because I'm thinking you're talking about people of faith. Because if you're talking about people of faith,
the description that he's talking about is people of faith and people of non-faith.
I'm talking about
this is both and
what
in this scenario.
What he is saying to me should be the status and the situation of people who are not of faith. But if you are a person of faith, I'm trying to, for real, y'all, I'm trying to understand that. Like, for instance, there's no premarital counseling that kind of at least give you a glimpse into what marriage life is going to be like. There is
how men are. Men don't want nobody telling them what to do.
Well, how about this then?
Come on.
Dummy, get what you going to get. See, y'all got on me because you said you thought I called Jason retarded. I ain't called Jason retarded. I said what you did was retarded. But that wasn't a politically correct word. No, it's in the bonus content, y'all. It's in the bonus content. But that's retarded to me if you are going to get caught up in a relationship and you don't want to know what that relationship is going to look like, particularly given the fact that you may not have actually been raised.
The brother is thinking that leg is going to be good.
Tom, let me school you.
That's
man.
stupid.
Let me school you.
I'm telling you, that's just what the brother is saying, that leg is going to be that good.
Then you know what? Then you got what you got.
Tom, let me school you, man. Okay.
Can I just say that?
And Red, I know we do premarital counseling.
You got what you got.
For those who will come.
And for those who want to come.
Then you got what you got.
And look, and even guys at premarital, they'll hear certain things, but for most people, they already have an image in their mind about what marriage is going to be, even before they walk in the door for premarital counseling, right? Because of what they've seen growing up.
Do y'all ask them? Do y'all have like mentor couples that will mentor you and hang out with you?
Yes, we offer the ministry and all that.
All of that.
But let me ask you, Tom.
All of that.
Tom, do you think 6-7 sessions plus all of that is going to erase what I saw growing up?
No, it doesn't erase that. No, here's the thing.
No, so hear me.
It's work.
And that's
you have to work.
So, Tom, here's what I'm saying.
This is his point.
You gave me my point. If I got 24-1, why do I need to work?
Then why get married?
Because I'm telling you, in the beginning,
you can have sex and not get married.
You can.
So why get married?
Because maybe there's a value system that some people have, right? Maybe some people feel,
Please help me, since you're going to help me. Help me. What is the value of getting married?
Because deep inside,
hold on. What is the value, y'all, pastors? What is the value of y'all of me getting married as a believer, unbeliever? If I don't want to do any work, I just want to have what I think is going to be the fun aspects of this relationship. But if that doesn't work out, I do recognize there are 13 others that I can get hooked up with. However, if I get married and I have kids, I'm going to have to take care of them kids. I'm going to have to pay child support depending on how much money I make.
You're not thinking that early on.
Better think that
You're
way.
not thinking that way.
You're not thinking that way early on. Everybody wants companionship.
So you know what? I guess because it's the attorney in me there.
Yes, the attorney. And most brothers ain't an attorney.
Yeah,
they're looking at.
You know what? I'm sick of y'all.
They're looking at right
the
now.
apple bottom, Doc. It's the apple bottom.
They're looking at right now.
These jokers
of y'all.
What you sick of us for?
Because I'm just not understanding how someone in their right mind.
Y'all put it in the comment section and help them come with
some type, particularly believers. I want to stay there for a second.
Stop. You're naive.
No, I'm not naive. Can I say this?
That's like me saying 7 out of 10.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not that I'm naive. It's just I think.
Okay.
That's just the bottom line.
Okay.
Everybody ain't thinking.
I will agree to that. I will agree to
maybe
that.
because I've seen some things, it's because I'm not going to do certain things when I've seen the results of
Right.
it. Everybody and their mama got to know that marriages are 50-50. That's the stats in the church, outside the church.
Facts.
Okay,
Facts.
so if you know that, you telling me as a person that has some sense
Apple bottom.
of I ain't gonna say wealth, but just has some means, some sense of means, you are going to voluntarily enter into a relationship with someone because, okay, I love her for the moment, but I ain't trying to put in the work. I'm not trying. That's what you're saying. I'm not trying to put in the work.
Can I finish?
Hold on. I'm posing my question, then you can answer it.
All right.
I'm not trying to put in the work. So if there's work associated, I'm not trying to do that. And if it does not work out, then I can go and hop up on one of the other options. You're telling me that there are men with means are willing to do that.
If the apple bottom is white.
Let me just say this, Tom.
That's stupid.
We have seen it.
That's stupid.
Can I speak now?
Yeah, you speak, but can I say on the record that's stupid?
Okay, you said that repeatedly.
All right.
All right. So let's go back to the origins. I believe that there are men who do want a good marriage,
Right.
but men are visual.
Yeah.
If men have not been exposed to a good marriage that they have seen, I ain't talking about TV, I'm talking about somebody in their family. Then how do I know what it looks like? And what we get a lot of times in post-marital counseling, right, is a lot of women say, I wish that my husband could do A, B, and C.
Yeah.
I want him to lead.
Yeah.
I want him to do A, B, and C. The problem is, Ty, most of the guys ain't never seen it.
Right.
So now they're trying to figure out how to be and do something that they were never shown themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that requires a different mindset and an orientation to marriage, to being a husband, what that means. And sometimes even in the church. So I'm gonna use myself as an example. When Teresa and I got married, we had premarital counseling, but I really didn't grasp, and this is how I do my premarital counseling now, because I really didn't grasp from the beginning that biblical marriage is the reflection between Christ and the church.
Talk to him right there. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So then if I am to represent Christ, then my role is to sacrifice for my family. Right? There has to be a death.
It's a death process.
Death to self. But if I'm in this relationship and what I see right now is all fun and games because I'm getting what I want, I have not practiced death or sacrifice because I am used to getting what I want. And the relationship is good because it's on my terms. But that ain't what biblical marriage is. It's not about my terms. It's about me sacrificing myself.
It's death.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I never saw that, if I've never experienced that, if I've never seen that, and now I just know I got a good woman and we supposed to get married because that's the construct in my mind of how life is supposed to go.
Right.
And I really don't understand how it really is from a biblical perspective. This is why we get to these places. And when you add to the fact that now she wants me to be something that I know I'm not, but somebody across town will accept me
the way I am.
Just the way I am. And I'm fine. And ain't gonna be no stress over here. Because I like all your jokes and
For now.
all your stuff.
For now.
Well, the Bible says,
For now.
the Bible says there's a way that seems right to man. But in the end, it leads to death.
Destruction, yeah.
Go a little deeper.
Right.
Old Testament. Sin is pleasurable for
a season.
a season.
Correct. But
It lieth
again,
at the door, but you can.
but again, for most men who do not have the wherewithal that you have, that I have, that Ray has, to stick with what you got is good,
Right.
right?
I think
It's
though.
easier.
I'm still not catching
Okay,
it. And the
all
reason,
right.
the
I
reason
think-
I'm not catching it is because you just said that you had all this good jumping off the counter and all that other stuff. You got all that, and she loved this, and now all of a sudden she's requiring of you something that you are not, and this other person over on the other side of town, she doesn't, and she like your jokes, and you can do whatever.
Tom, what
but
I'm
guess
saying
what? Old girl over here in the beginning, she was that girl that's across town. just a different season in your relationship.
Yeah, but now.
And so I'm just saying, just step back for a second and just think for a second. Your current wife was that girl across town that you're looking at now. Same scenario. You go over there. Eventually, you stay with her long enough, you're going to be right back in the same
She going to put some demands on you.
Because she going to put some demands on you, particularly if you put a ring on her.
Yeah.
She going to put some demands on you. I guess that's just the wisdom of living a little longer to see these type of things. She going to put some demands on you. So you're going to be right back in the same boat, but worse, because I promise you, she's only going to be a fraction of what you already had. Because it's not greener on the other side.
It is not.
In some scenarios, Jay and I could argue that. We could argue that because sometimes it is green.
Well, yeah, sometimes. But here's the thing. That's that.
Am I right, Jay?
And I
Come
won't
on, don't leave me out here by myself, Jay.
And I won't get into that. But I'm just saying, for the most part,
right?
For the most part, because we all know, although first marriages end 50-50,
right?
Second marriages are worse.
It's 65%.
So look,
65%.
Let's put faith in it, right? So if I got a strong Christian woman, right, then that means she's going to be willing to accept her role in the marriage, right? If I go back and tell you that in order for her to accept her role, I got to do my role. My role, if I'm going to be head, is not to be head by just simply saying I'm a man.
You got to sacrifice.
There's that sacrificial part of it.
Yeah, baby.
That if I don't have that, because you understand as well as I do, we all got kids here. And we're going to be really honest about this.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know that when the kids enter the picture, it changes the equation of every relationship.
Changes.
When you didn't have kids and you came home, you were the first and the brightest spot of your wife's day.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't no more when you have kids.
Not with them kids there.
Right? And it's not that they don't love you any less, but there are other responsibilities, there are other things that have to go on that have to make the house go.
You got to teach them.
And that maternal instinct go kick in.
That's right.
So if it come between my baby sick and I need to take care of the baby, I'm going to go take care of the baby.
Right.
You just going to have to wait.
You got to wait.
Right? And some men can't, it's hard to accept that.
Well, the reality is they won't wait when you got 14 other options
This
down
is the point.
street.
So
That's
if you're not sacrificial in understanding
come back
that,
to you got to fear God.
and if there's no accountability that I'm raised with, I might want to stay married because I think you're a good mother. I want you to take care of my kids because you can do that. But for all the other stuff, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Down the street. But I think if men understood to the point of the trustworthiness, are we believable? Can we be followed? Can we be trusted? I think if both men in faith and outside of faith, understood 1 Peter 3:9. And that is, and I don't think that this applies to you as a man of faith or not. I think it applies to all men who are in the role. God don't hear you.
Yes.
When you pray.
Correct.
When you don't treat your wife right.
Correct.
And I think if men understood that on a large continuum, it would change the dynamic of their behavior, how they make their decisions, how they choose.
Correct.
Because marriage is his institution. It ain't got nothing to do with us. It's his thing.
Correct.
So for us, we have got to operate with that in the back of our heads. Like you said, you ain't going to be mistreating Don in any old kind of way because Don got a prayer life. And God going to be like, what you want again? Now, what you do about my daughter? With his arms folded up. If men understood that on a large continuum, I think that there could be some change where the culture may shift a little bit.
So here's the interesting part, and you're 100% right, because that verse says, Ton, in 1 Peter 3, that if men don't honor their wives with respect, treat them as the weaker vessel, the heirs together with the great, that God says, I don't even have to hear you pray. Right. And if my role as the head of the house is to make sure my house is covered, but I ain't treating my wife right, then that means my prayer hitting the ceiling.
So then take faith out.
Take faith out of it.
What do you do with the men who don't care about God hearing their prayers?
And that's where we are.
They go down the street.
That's where we are. So when I asked you about the 10 men,
I said 3.
Correct. That's the dilemma that women are in, right?
I said 3.
So when they see the 3 that might be willing to be right, then you got a whole bunch of them trying to flock to that 3.
They're fighting over the 3.
Not the 7, because they know the 7 are dogs. It's the 3. And can those 3 have enough self-control, enough discipline,
Yeah, it does.
enough spiritual wherewithal to stay with one.
Well, Isaiah says that it shall be 8-1, and it's in that text. It says, "I buy my own food, I get my own stuff. Just give me your last name, so that I can be respected in community." I'm not quite sure that the 3 can resist the 8 or 9 that's coming. If you don't fear God.
Because now you got women who are proposing to men.
Facts.
I
We
just
did a
can't
show
believe
on
that.
We did.
We did a
and
show on that.
and listen, man, I'm heartbroken for black women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this is just straight economics, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's straight economics. I have to look at, and we all know that black churches are predominantly women.
Female, yeah.
And the reality is, I have to look at my congregation, and I've had some real conversations about some women who really want to get married, who are, in my opinion, marriage material.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, they may have to face living the rest of their life either holding on to their standards and being single, or lowering their standard to have companionship.
So one more option. Or going outside their race.
Ooh. Lord, we ain't got enough time for that right there. We don't.
Todd, I don't know about that,
I
man.
know, because I have friends who have gone outside their race.
That don't mean that the people outside the race are faithful.
No.
This is a God and others. This is Cat Williams. This is God and others issue. This
Right.
ain't just about race.
No, but I'm saying
When it comes to
I'm
black
talking
men.
about black men.
Yeah, he talking about
To
go out-
widen the pool.
To widen the pool.
Yeah, now to widen the pool, but that doesn't mean that if it's a white guy or an Asian guy that he's any more faithful to God.
No, but can I say this?
The pool is larger.
The pool is larger.
And the credit might be better.
And the credit might be better. And the ones that I've seen that have done it has worked.
Yeah. Now,
And
yes.
oh, can I just go there? I'm just gonna go ahead. And
I
get
think
it.
you felt some of your shining
I
now
felt
right
some of
there.
my shine on
I felt
Okay.
the quickening come in the room.
Yeah, and so it's not only has it worked, but then you got those same trifling dogs, the 7,
Oh, don't do that.
who, I'm gonna go
Oh!
there, who gonna now look at her going to, or as we would say, the other side, and get mad that she is with a non-black person, but will quickly, if they hit status of millionaire and billionaire
he did it.
and affluence
He
and
went
everything,
there.
will go to the other side in a heartbeat. Matter of fact, that's their go-to.
And then the quality of what they get is not the same.
No
because
way.
sisters gonna marry up.
Yeah, that's their go-to for many of them.
Yeah.
You look at NBA, NFL athletes.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Foreign women are-
most of them have dated or married
Foreign wives, yeah.
someone else.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's they go to. And I think we may have done a show about that, about why is that so prevalent. And we talked about, in college, they flock to them because they know, they see potential.
So then it goes back, and we're almost out of time. This is why I my heart breaks for our sisters.
Yeah.
Because now
get
it goes from 3 to 2 or 1.
I'll say 1.
Because if now somebody else outside of our race is poaching our good ones, that means now I got to deal with the 7 that's left.
But they're not poaching them. What's
Voluntary.
happening is they're voluntarily
Yes, they're
going
voluntary.
there.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I know, but I need you to understand. Most of them would not go there if they thought that they had a good pool of
To work with.
qualified
Yeah.
potentials that could do right. But we just won't do right.
We won't. Because again, there is no accountability nor incentive to do right.
And I still didn't introduce my article because we went way over here and stayed here because that's just a reality.
It's the reality.
Of what's going on.
It's the time.
And the sadness of it is true.
And it starts at home.
Yeah.
And who raising our boys?
No. Who's raising someone's nightmare?
Correct.
Correct, yeah. Yeah. And sometime, if 70% of our boys are raised in single family homes, sometimes, sister, you doing your own self in by how you raise him.
No, because she ain't going to be the one that's going to have to deal with the nightmare.
Right.
It's going to be someone else's daughter.
Yeah,
that's
right.
going to have to deal with the nightmare.
Have to deal with the nightmare.
Yeah, she gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So
you create, it's almost like a cycle. You creating your own problem.
So the solution there is we're not going to get married. We're just going to have kids.
There it is.
And
I think that's where we are.
And I'll just be like Nick Cannon, for
I'll be
example.
a baby mama. Let me just hope that I can find somebody.
Oh,
that
black
got some
polygamy
money,
is on the rise.
that got some money.
Yeah.
Because if I'm Nick Cannon, what incentive do I to get married? You still giving it to me? I'm still having kids.
I'm going to believe
And
for
I'm going to get
7.
money. I'm going to get money for that.
You can believe 7 or what?
I'm going to believe for 7 men that want quality, legacy, and families. I'm going to believe for that.
Nah, bro. Nah, it ain't no 7.
Y'all put it in the comment section.
It ain't no 7. Ain't nowhere near. The sister's gonna tell you the truth. It ain't no 7.
No.
It ain't nowhere near no 7.
Which is why I want to applaud you, brothers. We
the 3 in the room
I would like to believe that we are. Yeah, with Jason. Don't forget Jason.
Yeah, Jay. We're with Jay.
That was a typical little brother comment. Yes.
But I applaud the 3 of you and myself because we are representing Christ in an era where it is far too easy to portray that you're worshiping Christ, but still getting what you want on the side. And I think what we all understand is at the end of the day, it ain't the Commonwealth attorney, it ain't the pastor. The only thing you have at the end of the day is your name.
That's it.
That's it. Bro.
That's it. That's all you got.
That's it.
Your name. And no matter what profession you're in, if your name is tarnished, that's it.
That's it. It's over.
So I commend you all. Stay on the wall. Y'all stay on the wall.
On the wall.
Jay, stay on the wall, man. We got to run. Great show today. This is the Barbershop, y'all. We'll have the ladies back next time. Until next time, be blessed to be a blessing to someone else. Peace.
Okay, I hope you loved it as much as we did. Thank you for joining us for another fire show for the crew. Listen, you can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and any streaming platform that you're using for your podcast. Share with a friend, expand the family. Listen, we're trying to do this thing with all of you as often as we possibly can. We're looking forward to you joining us again for our next show.